Oh, I did not change. Oh, I did change it. Hi everybody, it's Nancy from Run a Girl Designs. Hope you're having an awesome day. If it says was live above my head, that means you're catching the replay. Just type hashtag replay, that way I can welcome you. Come on in, say hi. Keyword today is Thanksgiving. Type that when you get here. I have been crafting today. Had lunch with my son this morning. That was very nice. He's off driving back to Vegas now. So we are going to, we got to meet him and have a good breakfast with him, brunch. And now we're here. So when you get here, say hello. I have some cutouts that I made on my laser. So we have this little pumpkin cutout. Keyword is Thanksgiving. And let's see what we're gonna do here. We're gonna take our pieces and just lay them out. I just have to decide what I'm gonna paint what. Hope you're doing good. Let's see, we're gonna paint our Happy Thanksgiving. We're gonna paint in white. We're gonna use bright white chalk paste. Okay, we're just gonna give this a good coat. Now I use chalk paste because I know I'll be able to clean up my little mat here because it is water soluble and it matches everything. It just makes my life easier. So this is why I paint with chalk paste from my shop. Tell me what you guys are up to. I think this is like the last stretch. We're like in Texas, we're like in the last stretch of the heat, like the real, you know, like Texas, it's hot. We are coming up on, I think Monday's supposed to be 97. And then it's going to be like in the 80s, like upper 80s, which is kind of crazy, but that is pretty fun, I think. We're going to paint this one in Lagoon. And let me check over and see who's here. If you're not already, guys, go on over to my broadcast channel so you can be notified when I do go live. Oh, it looks like I'm super far away. I hate that when that happens. Hi, I'm really far away. All right. Hi, Lena and Kathy and Cindy. Elizabeth, hello. And Mary Ann, hello. Hi, Janet. Hi, Dawn. How's everybody doing today? This pumpkin is from the autumn release. Hi, Linda. Everybody's here. Hi, Kim Daniels. Hello. How's everybody doing today? Hi, Susan and Kathy. All right. Now we're going to use this one. We're going to paint this one in Lagoon. I think. Is that what I wanted to do? Yes. I think. Hang on. Because that's going to be... Yes. Okay. I had a plan. I just want to make sure I'm still following the plan. I'm just going to paint straight from the jar. I'm not watering down my paste or anything. I want real good coverage. Hi, Lori. How are you? And Mary. Hi, Kelly. How are you, Kelly? All right. Hope everybody is doing really good. Caitlin survived. She hasn't been teaching yet, but she had open house on Friday. And actually, I was so busy talking to her about wedding things, I didn't talk to her about how open house went. So I will find out and report back, but I'm sure it went fine. I'm kind of giving this 2 good coats. Kind of 1.5 because I'm not really letting it dry in between, but I think this will be good enough. So the way I cut this is it's going to be in 3 layers. So you get your Happy Thanksgiving and your banner, and then you have this. Okay, I think I'm done with that. How's everybody doing? You're watching football. What team is playing right now, Jan? Tell me. Jace was saying, I think there might be some kind of game on today. But we didn't know. We didn't know what. Or maybe I didn't hear the final result. Hi, Kelly. Oh, nice. Meet the teacher. Wait, tomorrow on Sunday? Or is it for Sunday school? Oh, Thursday. I'm sorry. I thought it said tomorrow. I see that it says Thursday. Never mind. You don't have to correct me. I see it. That's awesome. Well, enjoy. I hope you have a great class this year. Okay, so I'm going to stain this pumpkin shape in the banner too. This kind of goes out, so it's going to layer on top. And we're even going to worry about this little tendril here. Now, do I need green? I did not get a green color. We're sticking with brown today. Dawn says she's doing great. Spend some time with my, who lives in Oregon. He was out for a week. That's so nice. Isn't that nice when your family comes to visit? I love that. I kind of want it to be a little less dark. I'm just rubbing some of this off. This is going to be a super cute, quick project. Colt's in the back. Oh, so it's professional. Thursday was the parents. Tomorrow's meet the teacher for the kids. Oh, on Sunday. So I did read that right. I did read that right. Okay, I guess I'm just going to say this is good. We're going to pull all this off and dry it. I'm going to clean my ink mat because I just cleaned it. So we might as well stick with the program. Colts and Bengals. My dad followed the Bengals. I don't know if he was like a fan, but I know he followed them because he, you know, that's where he lived in that area. It was like the local team or whatever. I'm a college football girl, guys. I'm more college football than professional football. I really am like that with all the sports. I prefer the college sports, college basketball, college football, hockey, all that. I'm a sports girl, but more, I guess I like it better when it's not pro. Browns won their last presentation, no game today. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I know there's going to be some football on that Jace. Maybe it's not anything you want to watch. We know that next weekend, is it next weekend? Michigan football Saturday. That's what we're happy about. Cindy says she watches it all. That's awesome. The Browns won their last preseason game today. Now I'm watching Green Bay. Nice. You guys are football people. I love that. Packers up 10-0 versus Seattle. Uh-oh. Love it. I love to hear you guys are watching football. I love sporty women. You're my kind of ladies. Okay, let's make sure this is all dry before we do anything to it. Hi, Patricia. How are you? Hope all is well with you. Okay, so this is basically dry. We're going to sand and wax it all so it is ready to go. And we're just going to work up with our layers, I think. Yes. That is what we're going to do. So you want to sand it all. This is a very old, I think I've used this 1,000 times. Old sanding paper. It's so old. But just get like a fine piece of sanding paper. And this is just going to smooth out your paste. Okay? And give you a surface that's easier to chalk on is what it's going to do. And if you're like me and you get a little bit on the edges, you can sand that off too. College sports are definitely the best. I agree. I'm great, Patricia. I am great. Okay. Let's get some paper towel. I think I have some going in here already. Okay, then just remove your sanding dust. Even if you don't think there is any, there is some. Because it'll end up on your wax pad, trust me. And just kind of get all that dust off and then add a little wax to it. I just think they play the actual sport. It's not just showboaty. This is why I like the college kids, but you know, I actually don't think we're gonna paste on here. Well, we might. We might. I'm not really sure what we're doing there. I think I was supposed to do that in brown, now that I'm looking at it. Well, now we're going to have to change our plan. I could paint it over. I'm thinking this should have been... We're just going to go with it. Okay, everything is sanded. Everything's waxed. Let me show you what's next. Now, I want to start with this part. Now, this is a reusable silkscreen transfer, guys. You can use these over and over and over again, as long as you take good care of them. One of the things you want to do is add some fuzz to it. Okay, just like this. I'm just putting it in my drawer and putting it on my towel and then lifting, okay? And I'm also getting giant pieces of fuzz. You don't want that. You just want a little bit of lint. And then you're going to lay this down like so. And in the cart link, I did not put green, but I am going to use a green. So let me grab one. I'm going to use Ivy. You can use any green you like, but that's what I want to use. Wasn't thinking about the stem being, or the little tendril and the stem. I was thinking it would just be brown, but I like my stems green. I don't know. We have this discussion a lot. And then I am going to chalk really just the pumpkin and the stem on this part, okay? So I'm going to start with the stem. Now, I was explaining this to somebody the other day. What you want to do when you are using more than one color, okay, you want to lift your transfer as you go, okay? So I'm going to do the green. Part to get all my excess up. I'm going to clean off the end of my multi-tool here. And then you want to lift. And that's called paste and pull, okay? And then what you're going to do is just press down where you haven't chalked yet, okay? I think I'm going to just stick with my multi-tool. And this, I'm going to make my pumpkin white. You can do any color you like. So I'm going to go around with my white. Now, if you get it in this area, it's not going to matter. We're going to cover it up anyway. I really think I should have painted this in brown. But we're just going to go with what we got here. I'm going to have to work with it. So then, because this is taking me a little bit of time, doesn't seem like a long time, but you don't want your paste to dry in the silk screen, then just go ahead and lift and then just let it fall back down, okay? I don't think I've really explained that recently, so I've got a lot of new friends on this page. So I wanted you guys to be able to see what to do for that. So I'm just going to go through and get my paste on the bottom. Now you could go through the middle. We're going to cover it up anyway, but I'm just being a little bit careful. It's not going to be 100%. But I'm going to end up doing my banner last because I'm really not sure what I want to do now. Okay, so then scrape up your excess and then lift the bottom. Then you can lift the whole thing up. Okay, now see how all of my paste is bright and it looks great, right? So if I would have tried to do all of this and then lift it, this part would be completely distressed because all the paste would be still in the silkscreen. Right now, it's on my board, okay? So that's why we do the paste and pull. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside. And again, you can do your pumpkin and orange. I just had a different plan. Now I'm trying to decide. That's upside down. If it doesn't line up, you know you've got your banner upside down. Okay, now let me think. If I do this, it's only going to be it's going to be mostly brown. It's going to look like this with a little bit of, well, and then I guess I could do this in teal. No, because this was going to be brown. Well, I have done this wrong. Well, the lettering was going to be white. It was going to be outlined. This was supposed to be. Okay, we're going to have to paint this. So let's set this aside. You guys, we're going to change that because this, I just think, hang on, let me just think about this for a second. We could do it backwards. We'll do it backwards. Never mind, we'll do it backwards. We'll do this in brown. Even though that wasn't my original plan, we can make it work. We'll just do the opposite of what I was going to do. Okay, so for this part, hi, Tracy Williams. How are you? Thank you for being here. Guys, the keyword is Thanksgiving. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this on. We're going to do all of this in espresso, but you can choose any brown that you like. But this is just my go-to color these days. I've been stressing here, not stressing, but I should always just write it down, and then when I'm live, I don't have to think. I can just read it. But I don't know if I have time. We'll see. That would work, but you know. Okay, then you want to pull this up. It's going to work anyway. Okay, so then this is our banner. Now, like I said, the way I did this is going to make this like 3 layers. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my transfer for the last one. And what you want to do with that is spray your transfer with some water, just regular water, doesn't have to be anything special. You can even take it to your sink and clean it. Okay, so I'm just doing it on a bath mat in here, or dish mat, rather. I'm going to use a board eraser. You get about around 50 uses for your board eraser. It will eventually melt down. This is kind of like a magic eraser without any of the chemicals, and it won't ruin your silk screen. All right, we're going to clean both sides. I'm going to clean both sides. And apparently, I don't know, is Detroit playing today? I got my Detroit shirt on. All right, and then you want to dry the sticky side. That's what I'm doing right now. And then I just flip it over since I'm going to use it again. Put it right on my fuzz cloth and dry the front, okay? And then it's already fuzzed when I pull it up, right? Okay, then we're going to take this. Oh, if I do that in, oh yeah, we'll do it in that. We're going to do Happy. Now, Happy is going to be in white because it's our background color. And Thanksgiving will be white also, but we're going to go around it in Lagoon. My original idea was going to be this part in white and brown, but things happen. Things happen. So we're going to get rid of our espresso. And our green, though we could do it in green, you guys. No, we're not. We're going to do it in Lagoon. And you just want to dip your squeegee in the paste and then run it over. And like I said, this is going to make the whole thing, the outer part, this Lagoon color, and our letters will remain white. Okay. And so you can see I work from the bottom up so that I didn't get my paste on my other project. Okay, let's pull this up. Okay, how pretty. This is so pretty. Let me see. I'm going to flip this around. This way you can see it in different ways. But we have our happy. I'm going to put it way close since my view is really far away. Hi, Amanda. How are you? Amanda, all your things went out in the mail today. Thank you for your order. Out in the mail. They got all cut last night and shipped out to you. All right, and I'm just cleaning this again really quick because it's got to dry. Hi, Wendy. Wendy, were you able to get all the things you wanted from the launch? I know you were waiting till Friday. Hopefully you were able to get some things that you liked. I think only one, that I could tell, only one of the items sold out. That was the Snoopy Thanksgiving. I mean, Halloween. Sorry, Snoopy Halloween. Okay, now let's get this all dry and then put it together. I'm going to show you, I have these little stands now that will help this stand up, okay? But I want to make sure this is dry before we do that. Not yet. Okay. Well, let me know if you need any help doing it or trying to find it and all that. I know sometimes your first order can be a little tricky. Remember, you have your new designer discount code that you get your extra. You have a one-time purchase that as a new designer, it's designer 15, all caps, all together. You put that in your promotion code. This is going to be so cute. Okay, you're going to put that in under the I've had this on and the battery's down. Under your promotion code, you're going to get an extra 15% off since you're a new designer. I really wanted to have a little bit of hot glue going here. That doesn't help when your light's not on. So I just want to make sure you're aware you have that to use. You have 60 days to use that code, so it's not like you have to use it on your first order as a designer, but you can. Okay, so we're going to put this layer on top of this one. And if you like this look, then you could do your letters on top like this. No problem, Wendy. I'm not rushing you. I just remember you were saying something about Friday. No biggie. I just want to make sure you know all the things. Okay, then we're going to glue our Happy Thanksgiving in front of that. And that will match up on this. This is why I didn't worry about going around it. glue gun is oozing as it does. You know, all the things that my glue gun does, which is nothing nice anymore. Really not friends with my glue gun anymore. All right, let's get some of this glued on. I just want a touch of hot glue. You guys, I made the cutest thing for class. I'd love to show it to you. It should be dry now. So we do this thing in school called a class book, and each child makes a page, and then we put it all together, and then all year they can read it. And then I have like a cover that'll say like, you know, Miss Augustin's class, blah, blah, blah. So my cover is usually the same as their book. So if I remember at the end, I'll show you because I got it like right there ready to go. So, okay. So we've got this glued together, and if you like, it's not super big. This would be great on your tiered tray. You could put a magnet on the back if you want, but I wanted to show you, I made these stands so that, I just want to see how I need to put it on here, so that it can stand up. Well, once it's glued on, but I want to make sure I have it in the right spot before I do it. Okay, I think like that. I want to make sure that's straight before so basically the way it works is you put this part down, you're going to glue this part down, and then this part inserts like this. These are on my Etsy site right now. Okay. And this is why I turn my glue gun on, so hopefully I can get it so it's all the way glued on. And my other thing is falling. Hang on. And it'll stand up while we're live here. Just want to make sure it's straight. And this can go back on the back of any picture frame. You can get multiple. I think I have them in sets of 4. Ta-da! I might glue mine in. So then, look, I didn't glue. Let me show you how this works. So you have their stand, and then you just stick this part in. So if you don't want to glue it so you can store it later, you don't have to. It looks like it will stand on its own, just like this. Or you could glue it in if you like, okay? I'm going to do one quick thing, because apparently I was super messy on the top. So I've got paint here. Just taking my little Sharpie paint marker in black and going over the top so you can't see how messy I was. You can always check it before you glue it on, of course, but do I do that? No. Okay, and let's look on the top of our pumpkin. This is just a way to cover up any little mistakes. Isn't he so cute? I love this. Thank you, Lena. All right, so the stands are on my Etsy site. So is this little pumpkin guy, I think. Okay, so you can do that, or you can glue it in. It's totally up to you. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Thank you. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate you all. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And we'll see you guys so soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. I don't know if I took pictures of this.